3 months ago, I started an experiment with Cake DeFi, trying out their dTokens for liquidity mining. Want to see how that went? We're going to break down the numbers on today's Frugal VC. What's up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. As you know, one of the projects that I've been tracking is the Cake DeFi project. Now, this is on the DeFi protocol. The DFI stands for in short. And I've done some videos in the past. You guys know this is one of the non-Algorand projects that I've been big on. And as I've said, I am not exclusively an Algorand creator. I just tend to gravitate towards them because they tend to be most of the projects tend to be really good. So 3 months ago, Cake DeFi launched its dTokens, and I wanted to see how they did. And so now what I didn't know at the time, what I found out later, is that if you are in the US, dUSD, so basically the decentralized version of the US dollar token, is the only one that's available for US users, which is kind of a bummer because they have a whole bunch of different ones like dTesla, dApple. If you're not familiar with what a dToken is, by the way, it's basically like a tokenized version of the real world asset. So if you buy dTesla, you don't actually own Tesla stock, but you own a token that tracks it exactly. So at least as far as I know, maybe there's a little lag. I'm not sure. I haven't dove in that far into it, but so when Tesla price goes up, then your dToken goes up. So why would you want this? Well, sometimes there's barriers to traditional markets, and so this allows you to get in without doing that. Or maybe you like the price action of Tesla, but maybe you hate Elon Musk, so you want to benefit from him without giving him the benefit of owning the stock. I don't know. There's a few different reasons, and also maybe you just don't want to deal with stocks or stonks. They call them stonks in the crypto world. Maybe you just want to get that price action. You just want to have everything on crypto. So totally understandable. Hey, by the way, guys, if you love these experiments, if you find these fascinating or at least useful, hit the like button and go ahead and subscribe to the channel. As I say, you don't have to smash it. You just have to press it lightly. My whole thing is that I just want to do these experiments and tell you everything that went good, everything that went not so good, the good, bad, and the ugly, as we say. So go ahead and subscribe to the channel, and so you can see all our experiments. Okay, so first off, figuring out how much you've actually made with paired tokens can be really, really challenging. And in fact, on Tinyman right now, they kind of shut down what there's their section that showed you rewards because it was just, they had something wrong and it wasn't accurate. So just to give you an idea, this is really tough, but here's what I had to do. So Cake DeFi gives you a pretty nice dashboard, and you can see this is like the total. I'm just going to highlight this here. This is the total amount of rewards I've earned since I started this back in May. So it's been almost a year. We're getting pretty close. We're at the beginning of March, and it was the end of May that I started. So we're probably about 9 months into that. It also gives you a daily cash flow, which is pretty cool. But what we're talking about is, so in fact, I'm going to change this back. I'm going to show you what you get. Oh, not today. So this month is where it'll put your rewards at. And you can see that I'm getting way more rewards from liquidity mining than staking. Total value of my account, by the way, is up here, $400 some. Obviously not a huge count, but there's money in it. And a little donut graph to show you the allocation. So what I did to figure out, I wanted to figure out, well, how much am I actually making just from liquidity mining? So this month so far has been 11 cents basically. Now, for reference, I have $13 and some odd cents. Let's go look at that for a second before we come back. Yeah, total value right now is $13. So I have $13 in US DeFi. Now I've made an initial investment and then I added a couple times. So it's not like I just put an amount in. It's probably what I should have done for the experiment, is put an amount in and see where it ended up. But in 3 months, but instead what I did here, oops, what am I doing? Go back to the dashboard here. So instead of this month, I'm just going to go all time. And obviously it's going to show us that $1.90 just like it does in total rewards. I've earned some money through referrals, by the way, too. So I'll have a link down in the description. If you want to sign up, you'll get a bonus. I'll get a bonus. It's all fun. So I made $85 total from liquidity mining, but as you'll see when I do the drop-down menu, most of that has come from the BTC, that's Bitcoin plus DeFi pair. I've been doing that pretty much since May, I think maybe a little later than that. But I made a total of $2.93. And that is, that's off of $13. So you can already figure out that's a already figure out that that's a pretty good percentage, right? But let's just figure out what that is. So this has been, like I said, this has been about 3 months. And so that's 22.5% that I've made in mining, liquidity mining with this pair, just in a very short amount of time, in 3 months. So if you were to extend that out 3 times, what would that be, times 4, right? Let's just figure that out. Yeah, that's about 22.5 times 4. Yeah, so they're talking about 90%, which is about what they said, I think. So that's pretty decent, right? And just for an example, I think that's a pretty good amount for Bitcoin DeFi rewards. So I really just wanted to talk about the dUSD pair today and just some of the assets. And I can show you some of these too, if I hadn't already. If you go to liquidity mining, so there's the 2 I have, and you can see how much I have of each one. I tried to figure this out the first time based on the total token pair amount plus the dUSD and the DeFi, and it just didn't make any sense. It wasn't adding up. It's just too confusing. As you can see, first off, there's all these different pairs of coins: Bitcoin Cash, Litecoin, US dollar coin, Ethereum, Doge, etc., etc. But then you can get into the decentralized assets, and there is the Baba, I believe that's Alibaba, DGME, DQQQ. Actually, they might be. Yeah, see, there's now a lot of them are not available. Actually, none of them. Yes, Spies on the Amazon, Tesla, Apple, Google, even ARK. I saw ARK up above there. Yeah, the only one you can use is the dUSD. That's the only one that's available in the US. So I think there might be some regulations against that. But those are all available, and I think it's cool that they have that. It's a pretty neat thing. But just to go back here, I mean, I really love that they show you the daily cash flow. I think that's super cool. And you can see total rewards earned. I like that too. You have that on Celsius as well. It's a little bit clunky compared to this. I just like I love when I just have a dashboard right here. And Tiny Man, you really got to take notice of this. This is where you need to end up. You need this dashboard. This is what I want to see when I come on the page. And I can even go by month. I can see how that's going. I don't really care about the allocation part, but it's cool if they have it, I guess. What are some downsides with Cake DeFi? As you know, I always like to say both the upside and the downside. Downside is liquidity. Liquidity aspect of this is not great. What do I mean? I don't mean liquidity as in liquidity mining or pools or tokens. What I mean is liquidity of like getting this off and turning it into fiat if you needed to. There are 2 ways to do it. One is to probably the easiest, but you might have to get an exchange that you don't have. You have to pair with an exchange that carries the DeFi token, and Coinbase does not. They have it on their site, and it is not a trading pair. One thing I like about CoinMarketCap is they have not only the price, and you can see it's 345. It was way lower when I got into it, by the way, so that's really cool. Been dropping though. It was higher. It was actually well, this is the 1 day, so it came down a little bit today. But if you go all the way down to the bottom, it took me a really, really long time to learn this. You can see the markets, and then you can find where you can get them. So KuCoin has it, Bittrex has it. And of course, Uniswap, you can do just about anything, which will pay like crazy fees. The confidence is high. That's always good to see. So there are markets, you can get KuCoin or Bittrex, and then you can convert it to cash. Now there's another way, and it's very complicated, and this will not be a guide. This will just be a brief overview. There's a very good guide to doing this, and that's through the DeFi app itself. So you can get a desktop or mobile, and what you have to do is you have to take the DeFi from your Cake DeFi and send it to the DeFi wallet. Then you can swap it for Bitcoin, because you can't swap it for Bitcoin on DeFi, Cake DeFi, which I really think they should. So you swap it, so send it to DFI, swap it for Bitcoin, then you gotta send it back. Now it's going to be a DBTC on the DFI app, just so you're aware. It's not real Bitcoin. If you try to send it to a regular Bitcoin address, it won't work. But you're going to send it back to Cake DeFi, then it'll be converted to Bitcoin, and then you can send it to like a Coinbase wallet or wherever you need to. I mean, so you can see there's a lot of steps. One thing that would really help is I personally hope, my personal hope is that Coinbase will adopt DFI. It's been around a really long time. I don't know what the holdup is. I'm also hoping this for Town, because you guys know I'm playing Townstar. So that would be really nice. I just hope all these coins end up on Coinbase to make it easier to off ramp. I don't need to do that now, but I like the idea of knowing I can, because someday that's kind of the goal, right? Like you want to actually use this stuff instead of just keeping it on here, and makes for nice numbers. So that's really important to me. So that's a downside. That's a big downside. The liquidity is rough, and now you do make on the BTC pair, obviously you do make some Bitcoin. It's just not a whole lot. You're going to make more DeFi than you are Bitcoin. Also, sending it to the DFI wallet, it's kind of a pain. It said 3 calendar days when I sent mine. I did like a DeFi or 2 as a test. I don't even remember how many I sent. Just to send it, I just wanted to test this out to see if I could actually swap it. And it said 3 calendar days. That was yesterday. And then the other thing is the DFI app, like you have to synchronize it, and it takes forever. I mean, it's crazy slow. It's a long process. Your computer will be, singing your praises, except the opposite of that for a while. So just something to keep in mind. I think those things will be solved. I really hope so, because I like a lot of what they do here. I like the layout. I like the dashboard. All good stuff. And as you can see, I mean, you're making a little bit of money on, it's pretty decent percentages. So it's hard to complain about that. So as always, I really would love to hear what you guys have to say. Let me know in the comments if you guys use this. Do you like it? I mean, I'm usually an Algorand guy, and I do a lot of Algorand stuff, but not exclusively. And actually, there's some Solana stuff that I'm kind of interested in and trying out. I have a little Solana on Coinbase, and I've been kind of wanting to monkey around with it a bit. So I saw something on Voscoin about oh gosh, what was it? I'll have to go look at that video again. It's really interesting. So we'll probably do something on that in the future too. And if there's any projects that you guys would suggest, always happy to hear it. I can't get to everything, but if it's interesting enough and I can get in fairly easily, I'll probably give it a try. So all right, that's it for this week. If you guys find anything interesting, let me know. Leave it in the comments. Stay safe out there. And as always, I'm Frugal BC, and we'll see you in the future.